So the Humane Society wants Governor McDonnell to toughen Virginia's regulations of the sale and possession of dangerous wild animals in the wake of a big game scare in Ohio this week. Now, like Major Lance, I can't help myself, and I was born with a curious mind. And when I see something like that, I say, okay, is there a problem here to be solved? And let's read on, dear sweet listener. I mean, is there a problem here with wild animals killing people in Virginia and stuff? Let's move on. Sheriff's deputies shot nearly 50 wild animals, including dozens of lions and tigers, near Zanesville, Ohio on Wednesday after the owner of an exotic animal park threw their cages open and this guy killed himself. So it wasn't a question of not having enough laws, was it? It was a question of human action. And when people say the animals escaped, they didn't escape. He let them go. They would have escaped if they had unlocked the gate themselves. Then that would have been an escape. There's a difference. If a human being opens the gate, then he let them go, so they didn't escape. Would you give me that? All right, 627. It says here, something similar could happen in Virginia. Well, you mean some guy who owns like 50 exotic animals shoots himself in the head before letting them all go? Or after letting them all go? I guess it would be difficult to let them all go if he shot himself in the head first. That actually would have been a good thing because he couldn't let them go. All right, see, I'm looking at the positive even when I don't know I am. But according to this, something similar could happen in Virginia. The Humane Society warned Thursday because of laws and regulations that the group called among the weakest in the country. How many incidents must we catalog before states like Virginia take action to crack down on private ownership of dangerous exotic animals? This according to Wayne Pacell, I guess, president and CEO of the Humane Society. He said this. The group called on Governor McDonnell to issue an emergency order or otherwise direct his administration to adopt regulations banning dangerous animals. All right. Well, what's a dangerous animal? Well, I guess we have to define our premise. Would it be an animal that in nowhere since the dawn of time has anyone been able to domesticate? Would that be considered one? And even these guys who like lion tamers and stuff. I mean, aren't they in there with a whip and a gun? And I mean, come on, Simba! Seriously, man. So you got that. I mean, it's not like the right to keep and bear arms, right? Is that the rule? Would that be I mean, how do we define exotic? What is an exotic animal? All right. I mean, know what an exotic dancer is. 629. Tucker Martin, a McDonald's spokesman, said the governor would look into it. Yeah, I bet. Where's this? Oh, yeah, let me put that right over there. We'll get to that one. Okay. The governor is concerned about any threats to public safety that could be presented by personal ownership of such animals, Martin said by email. In the wake of the tragic situation in Ohio, the administration will look further into the laws in the Commonwealth regarding this issue. Now, seriously speaking, though, I don't know if there is a problem, and we'd have to look in, and they outline some things that have happened in this state. So let's see if it is a problem. 629. I got the news coming up in a little bit. Debbie Leahy, I guess, a captive wildlife regulatory specialist. She's captive. Are they holding her? Is she a prisoner somewhere? At the Humane Society. Said Virginia requires permits for the possession of wolves. Wait a minute. Had I known that. Oh, boy. How about squirrels? Permits for the possession of wolves, coyotes, all right, bears, okay, you got to have a permit. So we know who has raccoons, all right, skunks. I wonder if there's a limit on the number you can have. Did they check the area you're going to have it in? I mean, how much is it regulated? Hyenas, big cats. What do they mean by lions and tigers, I guess? And crocodiles. Permit holders must be licensed by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Now, I know if I don't really know what the licensing fees would be, but if it's anything like your automatic weapons license, it's going to be pretty dear. Right. And how often must one renew the license also would come into question. USDA licenses are easy to attain, according to Debbie Leahy. I could, for example, decide I'm going to exhibit my pet bunny at birthday parties. Well, I tell you what, I hope I'm invited to that party. So I go out and get a USDA license to exhibit animals. Once I have that license, I can get anything. Tigers and chimpanzees and rhinos and elephants. So the moral of the story is you want to get yourself a tiger, a chimpanzee, a rhino, or elephant, you better act fast. Because it looks like you might be outlawed. You better move fast. You want to get... And I think this is an interesting story. It's interesting to me. Should Virginia toughen its regulations for the sale and possession of dangerous wild animals? Now, I'm not one to say, well, what do you need a raccoon for? What do you need a chimpanzee for? Because they want it. Because they, what does anybody need anything for? Because they want it. They like having it. It was some fantasy when they were kids. They liked the zoo or something. Who knows? I don't want to have an exotic pet. Wouldn't mind having an exotic dancer. I'll say that right now.
Hey, yo.
And I wouldn't need it for that long. 6:34. I know many people are saying, what exactly would you do with it? Okay. So USDA licenses are easy to obtain. I could, for example, decide I'm going to exhibit my pet bunny at birthday parties, so I go out and get a USDA license to exhibit animals. And once I have that license, I can get anything: tigers, chimpanzees, rhinos, elephants. Now, wouldn't it be very expensive? I got to imagine that if you got a tiger or something like that, a rhino, an elephant, you got a Bengal tiger, you got a wolf, you're not popping that sucker into the car and taking it to the vet, are you? I mean, really, are you taking your Bengal tiger to the vet? I mean, you're in the waiting room with your Bengal tiger? Down, boy. Wow. I mean, and some little kid brings in her rabbit. I mean, where are we going with this? So obviously that's not the case. So you got to have some money, don't you, if you're engaging in this sort of activity, because the vet's got to come to you. And I would imagine, what did we just hear? What just went down with our boy Powers over here? And that little cat, he spent $3,000 on the cat? Now, can you imagine if a tiny little stray cat cost him $3,000? What would a Bengal tiger be? My goodness.
Hey, yo.
Enough over here. All right. Virginia has virtually no restrictions on the possession of primates. Lehigh said, it's a very weak law, and it's a very poorly enforced law, she said. Well, you know what? Didn't we have that situation with that lady with the chimpanzee? It ripped her face off, but somebody was giving it booze and stuff. How about... and we're going to look further into this. But could it be, if we look at the situation with the woman with the chimpanzee and everything, now they were giving it Valium, whiskey, all kinds of stuff. They got the chimpanzee drinking booze, it's popping pills. Well, what is that all about? What is that all about? And I wonder if most of the times where one of these animals acts in an inappropriate fashion, it's because it was egged on to do it by a stupid person. You think that's usually the case, probably? 6:36. Julia Dixon, spokeswoman for the Virginia Department of Game and Inland Fisheries, said permits for such animals as alligators and big cats are issued only to exhibitors with bona fide educational programs, or however you pronounce that. I think that was one of the popes, Pope bona fide, not to individuals who keep them as pets. Virginia is one of about 10 states being targeted by the Humane Society after the Ohio incident for alleged lax regulation of wild animals. You heard that right there. Virginia... Let me see. Permits for animals like alligators and big cats are issued only to exhibitors here in Virginia. All right, but what do you have to do to be an exhibitor? All right. Lehigh said an ideal law or regulation would outlaw possession of specified animals. Big cats, all right, bears, all right, primates. Well, a monkey, there's all kinds of different primates. Like when we say primates, I mean, like if you said all cats, like they specify big cats, of course, that big's. What is the definition of big? But, okay, so they specify. Are all monkeys real dangerous? I mean, aren't there like tiny little monkeys and stuff? I mean, if you wanted to have a monkey. I thought about having a monkey, but I thought I would just cut the difference. I had 2 kids.
Hey, yo.
And I'm telling you right now, there is no difference between a 2-year-old boy and a monkey, except that the monkey's easier to reason with, I think. 6:37 at AM, or potty train, 6:37 at AM 790 WNIS. Now, the Society offered a sampling of incidents in Virginia over the past decade that it said showed the hazards of harboring dangerous wild animals. You got to be kidding me. The first one, get a load of this. And then I get this email earlier today, and I didn't do this on purpose. It says, Dear Emperor Tony, you haven't heard? I'm now Ambassadore. Take a look at today's Virginian Pilot on page A10. There's a picture of Romney doing an ape pose. Hey, Burke, see if you can find a picture of Romney doing an ape pose. Would you Google that for me? I would enjoy that. Couldn't you enjoy that? I'm going to put it right next to the picture of Muammar dead. I have Romney doing an ape pose, or whatever that means. And then he draws a reference to macaca, or whatever that means. Now, here we go. An adult Java macaca. That's what it says, M-A-C-A-Q-U-E. We went through this years ago. Attacked his owners while sharing the same bed. Okay, all right. Did I not say, before I even read this, that more times than not, it would involve some foolish action by a human being? And more times than not, the animal ends up getting shot. When it's just acting according to its nature. The human being abandons reason, acts totally opposite to what human beings should be acting like, And then the animal gets shot. So these people, an adult Java macaque, and I don't even know what a macaque is. I guess it's a pretty big monkey. I don't know. Attacked his owners while sharing the same bed. Man, I can honestly say that I've never shared a bed with a monkey. Could you imagine that? What the hell did they have the monkey? Oh, boy. Man, they were going ape, them people, aren't they? Woo, man. And you never tell, man. Yeah. Man, could they be playing a game with that monkey? Hey, monk. How'd you like a little banana?
Hey, yo.
He's peeling the banana. Oh, boy. Man, here, have something to eat, monkey.
My nuts. You love my nuts.
There's another one. 6 chimpanzees escaped an enclosure at an animal farm in Mechanicsville in July 2010. What did they do? Did they do anything? Did they hurt anybody? 6 chimpanzees. I tell you, I've spent a lot of time in Mechanicsville. That's the least of their problems. A man was attacked twice in 2 weeks by his pet capuchin monkey. Is that how you say it? I thought it was a type of coffee. Capuchi. Is that the type of monkey that when it defecates, they make coffee out of it? Remember that? We went through that. Let's not go through that. No, I don't want to revisit that. I don't want to even think about that. Let me have a sip of my coffee here. Come and join me in bed, my little coffee maker. It is 6:40 at AM 790 WNIS. A man was attacked twice in 2 weeks by his pet capuchin monkey, who bit his left hand, severing a finger. Let me ask you something. Would that happen twice to you? I mean, if the monkey... all right, so, okay, the monkey bit the owner. So it happened to him. So nobody else was harmed by his monkey. It did it to him. And it severed his finger in Chesapeake in March 2010. Well, you know what? Maybe he deserved it. Maybe he was giving the monkey the finger. A 16-year-old employee at the Luray Zoo was attacked by a tiger. All right. Well, yeah, didn't they have it there legally? Didn't they say that it was legal to have them for exhibition? So what's the problem there? A 16-year-old employee. Maybe you shouldn't have a 16-year-old in the cage with a tiger, whatever, causing severe injuries to her left hand and arm in November 2008. Man, what job did they turn out for that? I tell you what, I'd much rather be there saying, supersize it. If you want to supersize that, than being in a tiger cage. A 25-year-old woman was found strangled to death by her pet python. Now, you will see, let's look at all of these right now. Now, that's horrible. It's a tragedy. It breaks your heart. But here, okay, an adult Java macaque attacked his owners. All right, so is more regulation needed? Now, these people, if you have a monkey in bed with you, you are going to engage in some sort of behavior that isn't going to have the long-range consequence of you leading a normal life. Come on. You're sleeping with a monkey. All right, so the 6 chimpanzees escaped. Did they do anything? I don't see that. You got the guy who actually owns this capuchin monkey, which I think was a Mexican comedian once or something, and it bites his hand. His hand. His hand. All right. A 16-year-old employee at the Luray Zoo attacked by a tiger. All right. At the zoo, they said that it was legal for these animals to be in there, be exhibited by professional exhibitors. A 25-year-old woman was found strangled to death by her pet python. All right. It's very sad. I feel sad for the people who loved her and a life lost at 25. But she made the decision to have the python in her house. Did she not? A 5-year-old boy was bitten by a black bear at Maymont Park in Richmond in February 2006. All right, at Maymont Park. What was the bear doing in the park? Was that the bear's natural habitat? I don't know anything about that. There's not enough laws, so the bear was going to follow the law, don't bite the kid? So I don't see how... My point is, how would more regulations have kept any of these things from happening other than the ownership? Because it's all things happening to the owners. It's not like the situation in Ohio where this nut job let the animals go before he blew himself away. 2 Asiatic bears were shot and killed after they escaped from their enclosure at the Natural Bridge Zoo in December 2003. Now, I think this is interesting, but I don't know if anybody will have any reaction to it. So here's what I'll do. I'll open up the phone lines, and if you'd like to say something about this, perhaps you're an owner of exotic animals, or you can make the case for owning exotic animals, or if you have some thoughts about this. If not, we'll just move on. But I'll open up the phone lines for a little while. Mike's got the day off because he's taking care of the family, which is a good thing. 627-7979, 888-756-7979. Do you agree with the pilot? Should Virginia, they're just asking a question, not really taking a position. Should Virginia toughen its regulations of the sale and possession of dangerous wild